It's horticulture.
You can bring a horticulture, but you can't make her drink.
Good evening. On behalf of Three Sheets to the Mouse, the podcast where drinks get served, cloacas get loved, and adults act like adolescent teenagers in a pack and play, we welcome you to our show. We're gathered here tonight around the bar as people have been doing and getting wasted for thousands and thousands of years before us to share adult humor and Disney drinks. Tonight, a true adventure emerges as we drink together and tell our story together as one. We hope you enjoy our story tonight. Reflections of Booze.
I know it sounds sorted, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be prepared.
Cheerio, mates, and welcome to episode 69 of Three Sheets to the Mouse. We're five average guys with a love for all things Disney, and joining me on this week's are four blokes who are absolutely chuffed for all things Union Jack. Tim.
What's up? I don't even know what to say with that accent. Just stop it.
Mikey.
Chimney, bitches.
Adam.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
And Trenton.
He might be your father, but I'm your daddy, boy.
We're here to talk to you about Disney parks, Disney booze, and a little bit of debauchery in between, so sit back, relapse too. And
Relapse? Sorry.
Relax, grab a Fuller's London Pride, and enjoy this adult side of Disney with Three Sheets to the Mouse. Yeah, you can relapse too. I'm sure we've all relapsed at this point.
You gotta quit before you can relapse, Scott.
Sure is.
If you haven't guessed by now, we've been drinking Fightin' Lager, which I learned this weekend while playing golf with an Australian. That Stella in the UK used to be like 9% alcohol, and soccer hooligans would drink like 20 or 30 pints before going to matches and get ready for fighting.
I bet you it was still garbage then, though, Scott.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yes.
But it was just high alcohol beer.
Stella has actually learned the nickname as the wife beater in the UK.
Exactly. It's a Fightin' Lager. So we're doing all things UK tonight. It's our celebration of the UK Pavilion on Three Sheets to the Mouse. So, Tim, what do you have tonight?
Well, when you tear your liver a new one on Friday night drinking Manhattans, you kind of need a little break. So, I've got Chamberson red wine from our Franklin Hills vineyard.
So he's not drinking water. He's just dialing it back a little bit.
It's water. It's water with grape juice.
I drank water yesterday.
Yes.
That has to count for something.
Like a true cheater, he dials it back by just bringing down the alcohol content.
I take
That's
it from
all.
11 to an 8.
We're the kind of guys that drink water, and we're like, look how fucking healthy I am. All you motherfuckers, look at this. I'm drinking a cup of water. Everyone, look at it.
I had water like 3 hours ago, so I'm good.
I've had water before, ever in my life.
Water's a mixer,
I have
right?
a bottle here, too.
But like a true cheater, he just dialed it from like a 12 to like a 9.
Water's just a mixer.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's right. Adam, what do you got tonight?
I actually also destroyed my liver, but that's not stopping me either. And I actually have Franklin Hill Vineyards, the rose wine. It's called Kiss. It's actually kind of a dry red. What is it? Like a rosé. It's actually really good.
Like a blush, right?
A blush? Sure. It's pink. It's not like.
So it's a rosé. Be honest.
It's a rosé.
Call it what it is. Call it spade a spade, there, Adam.
So, Mikey, what do you have? What do you have to drink tonight?
I've got my world famous green drink.
Can we just call that a Welsh Dragon for tonight?
No.
It's not, but Stephanie's had one of those, and it's delicious.
It is really good.
I'm finishing off my shitty bottle of pre-made Long Island iced tea mix, and I threw in what was left of my green Hawaiian punch.
I had one of those today too, Mikey.
Did you put green Hawaiian punch in it?
It was also, but it was homemade Long Island, so I don't know if that's no.
Oh no!
But
See, this came in a bottle already did up.
see, this sounds like Mikey's gonna wake up tomorrow. He's gonna have a real banger.
Bangers and mash.
Kind of like that. Good transition.
Yeah. Trent, speaking of bangers, what do you got tonight?
I am drinking America's first brewed beer, Yingling, because we won fucking the Revolutionary War, and let's get after it.
Why not the Sam Adams? But okay.
Because Yingling was the first American brewed beer.
Yingling's older.
Yingling's the oldest brewery.
Yeah, Yingling's way older.
I went specifically bought this.
Sam Adams only dates back to like 1980 something.
Right, but it rolls off the tongue a lot better than Yingling.
Well, we're for authenticity.
I also learned that. Did you know that George Washington didn't have wooden teeth? He just had other people's teeth that he put in his mouth in dentures.
Yes.
I don't know why we're talking.
Yeah, that's
why.
It's real fucked up.
Hey, Trenton.
Talking about way off topic.
Yeah, I wouldn't mention that again.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
While the other four guys decided to forego anything UK. Anything UK. I've got myself a Dalmore 15. Because tonight is my celebration of all things amazing in the UK.
The London.
And the London.
The London.
Scott's had a hard on since we discussed doing this.
I have. I almost wore my England football shirt.
Scott, I'm
Because-
second generation from England. I understand, dude.
Couple of Union jack-offs over there.
That's right.
Third generation from Ireland, but I'm American, so.
Starting next week, Trenton, the cross of St. George will fly off the side of my house because England football. World Cup, guys. World Cup.
Is that where they sail the boats?
Yep. That's it, Mikey.
That's where they hit the home run, right?
No, so in celebrating all things the UK for me, I've decided to get myself some Dalmore 15. It is one of my favorite. I don't know why. I just love Dalmore. I know everybody shits on it for the color added and chill filtering, but you know what? It is such a tasty, tasty bottle of whiskey. It really is. It's delicious. Highly recommend it. So, in celebration of all things UK, we wanted to continue. This is a continuation of our Epcot series, our Ultimate Epcot, and we wanted to go country by country, so we're going to the UK tonight because last time we had a Canadian on to talk about all things Canada. And that was our first of this series, and we're going to keep going around the World Showcase in order to hit all these ultimate countries. So tonight, it's the UK. So sit back, grab your Pimm's, grab your Green King Ale, and enjoy the loveliness that is the UK Pavilion.
This is where he's gonna cut in some music, guys. I can fucking feel it right now.
You think?
This is where God Save the Queen blasts.
Oh God.
Wait,
Why don't we just use some real Queen?
Can we not do Killer Queen by Queen?
She's a killer queen, gunpowder gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam, guaranteed to blow your mind.
We'd like to do Killer Queen.
Yes.
I vote for Killer Queen.
Only
vote
if
for
we
Killer
all
Queen.
sing it.
No.
No. We've got to do the Bohemian Rhapsody for that.
That's my favorite karaoke song. Let's do it. I'm fine.
I am not drunk enough to do karaoke, so.
Nope.
As we start through the UK,
The uck.
as we start through the UK, we're going to take you on a sort of chronological tour of the UK because the way that the pavilion is set up, it kind of goes in time. So we're going to start at the back of it as you're walking through International Gateway and walking towards the front of Epcot. So first, as you get into the pavilion, what do we have, Tim?
The Mary Poppins meet and greet.
Well,
Well, this is true.
Thank
Well,
you.
it's not always Mary
If she's
Poppins.
there.
Sometimes it's Alice.
Alice.
Sometimes it's the
Yeah.
Mad Hatter.
But that's the first thing in the pavilion.
Yeah, and that's by the Rose Garden.
Let's just talk about those gardens for a little bit. Those gardens are amazing.
Yeah, and if you go during Flower and Garden, they're even better because you have the topiaries of the teacups and the tea kettles and.
It's pretty badass.
And Winnie the Pooh.
No, Winnie the Pooh is.
He's on the right side of it usually. The right side of near the lagoon. Because you're walking towards the UK Pavilion, like right after that bridge. So off to the left as you pass Mary Poppins or Alice or the Mad Hatter, we have the Tea Garden, the Rose Garden.
Yeah.
And one of the first buildings you come across is the Twinings Tea Shop,
The Tea Caddy.
the Tea Caddy.
And that is a thatched roof Tudor building inspired by the home of Anne Hathaway, who was the wife of William.
Not that Anne Hathaway.
That's where I went with that.
The wife of William Shakespeare.
Yes.
Fun bit of trivia about that building: the roof that is not actually made out of straw; it's plastic.
Yes.
I would hope.
Because that would take a lot of thatching.
Well, it's fire safety reasons.
Yeah, it'd be a bad deal during illuminations, I think.
It'd be
Yeah.
really also a bad deal if a really nice heavy windstorm came through. You know,
Not
close
likely
Florida.
in Orlando.
No, never.
This ain't the big bad wolf.
So Adam, what can they get at the Tea Caddy?
What do you think?
Beer.
Yes, all the beer that you could drink. Actually, it's pretty much all Twinnings or Twinings, depending on who you talk to. Tea,
Bin Madden, let us know what it is.
in a specially designed wooden slop box, and you can also find some like apparel there. All the stores are kind of moshed into one in most of the London, except for like a very few select. But most of this is tea, and like you can find the tea kettles that you can pretty much find every place else. Honey sticks, the honey lollipops that they have that you can put in the tea. It's basically a tea shop.
But here's the best part: is they have British like chocolates, like Lion Bars and Jaffa cakes, or not. It's not. They're not. Okay, they're not Jaffa cakes, really named Jaffa cakes, but they're the Cadbury version of Jaffa cakes.
What the hell's a Jaffa cake?
Jaffa cake is like a sponge cake with marmalade and then covered in chocolate, and it's fucking delicious.
That's what you catch Paddington Bear with.
Yes.
We set up a trap with a fucking one of those
Yeah, I
boxes
was
with a
just
stick
gonna say,
underneath it with a
that's
string, and you pull
fucking
it when he goes underneath it.
You got
on
to
top
get
of
the
him.
stick out from under the bridge after you play poo sticks, and yeah, then you can take your empty tea box and put your Jaffa cake underneath there. And that's how you catch Paddingtons.
Jaffa cakes are delicious.
Sounds like it might fuck your teeth up. Kind of sweet.
They're not, though. I mean, they're not overly sweet.
Do you dunk them in your
They're
tea, or you
delicious.
just eat them while you're drinking tea?
You can eat them while you're drinking tea,
I-
but you don't dip them in your tea. You say for your like McVitie's or
Do
Hobnobs.
you have to be on a double-decker bus while you're eating it?
I don't know,
Yes.
but I think he just took me to Hogwarts with his McBiddies and his hobnods.
On track number 9 3/4.
Fucking
Wait, I thought McVitie's was something you got from McDonald's.
No.
that's the new biscuit that's got purple hair on top of it.
McBiddies. That sounds like a British STD. Oh, I got the McBiddies. Fuck.
There goes our 2 UK listeners.
Yeah, but here come the Irish listeners. They just Brexited, but and go ahead.
But yeah, no, you can go over there and you can get some real authentic, well, pseudo-authentic British chocolates because they're not made at the Birmingham or the Reading plants anymore. They're made over here by.
Are they like maybe Tuscaloosa or
No, they're made by Mondelez in New Jersey.
never mind, Scott. Trenton got it.
Not right.
Oh God! So as you walk through the Tea Caddy, it is connected to other shops.
Yeah, well,
Because
like most of
Epcot. That's what Disney does. They just build a giant stretch of buildings and connect them all together, like Main Street.
Which is handy when it's raining.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
which happens often in Florida.
Been getting fucking
We
destroyed.
were there.
Right,
We were
but it's
there.
been worse since you guys.
Oh yeah. Because Magic Kingdom completely flooded to where those
Dude,
ducks
it's been
going
bad.
down Frontierland.
People wading like knee deep in water to get through fucking
I couldn't.
Fantasy.
We got boats.
I've been there when it's happened, but I try to avoid it.
Epcot flooded when we were there once too.
Yeah.
So walking through the tea caddy, you then enter the Queen's Table.
Yeah. Which, I mean, this whole section of buildings, it takes you through the Tudor period from the Perpendicular era to the Elizabethan era. So that's pretty much this whole 3-building section.
At the Queen's Table, Adam, tell them what they can buy.
Who the hell knows? It changes every other month. Yes.
What could they buy last week?
Last week they had the wedding.
The royal wedding
which
stuff.
I knew nothing about, nor watched, nor cared to watch.
God.
Me either.
Because, we don't have queens and kings and princesses.
Yeah, we
here,
won the
so-
Revolutionary War for a fucking reason, Adam.
I was about to say the same thing. We won the war to avoid having to watch.
So I don't have to have any fucking more royal weddings. Get the fuck out.
You think anybody's ever rented the tea caddy and grabbed a bunch of shit and throw it off the side of the lake there? Just flipped him the bird. Scream America.
America!
It's funny you should say that because I have a little story about that after we get to Rose.
Two of Bassi, motherfucker.
I really hope that Ben Madden and Graham are listening to this and are in stitches and not absolutely just ready to come over here and start the War of 1812 all over again.
Don't worry.
Beat their ass again. Don't worry.
So what else? What can they normally get there?
I don't know, because this is the one that's constantly changing.
Right. It's essentially China. It's a China shop.
A bull?
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
Put Mikey in there.
Put
No,
me in
it
there.
does, because this is the one, when I was doing research and I looked up this building, every picture had different merchandise in it.
It does change.
Some
a lot.
places even have this place listed as being closed,
Yes.
but according to Disney's website, MDE, it's still open.
It's open.
Because nobody goes in there. So
I think
it might as well be.
it's turning more kind of like this is the special event area where they
Yes.
just constantly switch out merchandise. I don't think they used to have the China in there, but I don't think it's as prevalent as it used to be.
I want to say I read a story that they did a lot of the 35th merch there too when Epcot had its anniversary last year. So
I'm sure they did. I'm sure this is a shop that is constantly changing with decor or with items to purchase because it is a special shop. It is something that changes on a regular basis. They had all the royal wedding stuff there. That's probably all gone by now. If they haven't sold off of it, it's now on its way to the cast member outlet.
Now, this isn't the shop where you buy the thing that I was talking about earlier, Adam, right? Okay.
No, you're talking about the Crown and Crest.
So as we make our way through this shop, or through this set of shops, I should say, we come across lords and ladies.
lords and ladies. That's the last
Health
building
and beauty
in this
products.
string, which is also the last in the Tudor style. Well,
Now
technically.
the front of it, the back of it is almost Georgian.
Yeah, because it backs up into that little courtyard where the hedge maze is, and
Which is like a recreation of Grosvenor Square in London.
yeah, and the Toy Soldier, which is the next building that's all in that little courtyard area.
So Lord and Ladies, Adam, what do they get at Lord and Ladies?
Health and beauty products, soaps.
Which some of
Yardley.
these are Yardley lavender soap is so it smells so good. It smells quintessentially English.
I think it's overpriced for what it is.
Well, it's fucking Disney. Of course it's fucking overpriced.
It's soap. I mean, for fuck's
It is soap.
sakes.
Well, that's it. What's the soap they sell in the Grand Floridian?
Oh, the place that has, like, the bath bombs and the...
Yeah.
It's the same store that
It's
they
like
have in
that
Disney
soap.
Springs. I can't remember what it's called.
Basin?
Yes.
Basin, yes. It's the same thing, overpriced.
Oh my god, that sounds like the most millennial name for a soap Bath and Body Works outfit I've ever heard.
Well,
Basin.
Well,
a
it
basin is like a
is.
sink, so I mean it kind of
I
makes
know,
sense.
I know. Yeah, that's yep. I bet. Never mind. Yep.
Yep.
Never been there, but I can already in my head imagine what the signage looks like.
I mean, it's not that millennial. There's not like PBR flavored soap or anything there, so
Ugh.
Yeah.
yet.
Is there a market for that? Because I know a guy.
Well, us people in the north, we don't call soap as flavored, more like scented. We don't eat this shit.
Well, us uncultured swine here in the South, Tim, call it flavors.
I'm
True
from Alabama,
story.
so
Cincy wax does not taste anything like it smells.
Ew.
No.
well, we'll leave that to my imagination and let's move on.
Well, now we know who the person on the show that eats candles is.
Well, just the
And
wax.
it's Mikey.
But also at Lord and Ladies, you can get scarves and ties and a tartan pattern that may match the heritage of your Scottish ancestry if you have any.
Yeah,
So you can look like Jude Law when you walk out.
Yes, you could. So after you get through Lords and Ladies, you go through this side of the shop, and then you're in a recreation of a small part of London called Grosvenor Square. There's also a hedge maze because hedge mazes are a big thing in the UK. But at the end of this hedge maze, facing the square, is a recreation of the Hyde Park Gazebo. Hyde Park being in London. It's a large park in the London. Probably my favorite park in the entire city. Yeah, definitely. Mikey,
Hey!
let's talk about some of the entertainment that's performed here.
All right. When you think of the entertainment that happens in the London, as you're walking around Epcot, you pretty much only think of whatever is going on at this gazebo because it's outside and everybody can enjoy it, appreciate it. I guess it all depends on what your tastes are. But yeah, in that garden of the UK Pavilion, you got this gazebo, and it's been home to a lot of different musical acts over the decades. I'd say probably one of the most famous bands to call it home was the British Invasion, which was basically just a Beatles cover band. They started back in '96 and made their name playing all the hits of the Beatles, throughout their the Beatles, career as music, the decades that they were, relevant. And these guys would actually even dress the part. They had, the ridiculous haircuts. They all looked like Moe from the Three Stooges. But what they would change their outfits during the course of the day on their shows, and you would see their style evolve a lot like it did for the actual musicians as things changed, over the decades. So like they would have wardrobe changes, during the show.
Were they also mediocre and overrated like the real Beatles, or?
Whoa! Holy
you're fired.
fucking shit! Yeah. Whoa.
You're fired.
I agree with Trenton. I don't get the love for the
You're fired
Beatles.
too.
The Beatles, you know what? The Beatles, they were groundbreaking for what they did, and they brought a lot of good vibe and culture to other music and other bands. But it's people today that say the Beatles are their favorite band, it's like, for real? They're your favorite band?
So people can't have opinions?
Send all hate
Oh, they
mail to
can, but
Trenton.
if the Beatles are your favorite band, your opinion's just wrong.
No, that's the thing is Trent's thing is you can have an opinion, but you're wrong about it.
Yeah.
Yes, this is very true. And then he'll get angry with you about it.
Yeah.
You will.
Send all hate mail to Trenton at 3sheets.com.
No, they weren't overrated. They were beloved by everybody that saw them, Trenton.
Yeah, until 1970. And
Well, no, we're talking about the British Invasion.
We're talking about the British Invasion.
Yes. How long
which
did they
took
play
place way before the 1970s, I think in the 1700s.
Fun fact about the Beatles, they also broke up at the Polynesian.
Yes, they did.
Officially.
John Lennon signed the official release for the Beatles at the Polynesian.
Oh, wait. I thought that was okay. I thought we were talking about Russia. Wrong Lennon.
Wrong Lennon.
Wrong
Lennon,
Lennon.
not
Sorry.
Lennon.
It's all Greek to me. So yeah, these cats, they performed from 1996. Toward the end of their run at Epcot, the British Invasion actually started incorporating other British rock bands into their act besides the Beatles. And they kind of started rotating members in and out, musicians in and out. They held their final performance was in April of 2011, and they were, as people are when things change in Disney, people were pissed when they left because everybody came to know and love them. Fun fact about British Invasion, they're still touring and they're still performing, and sometimes they're in two cities at the same fucking time because as the the head of this group says they're not a band, they're a musical production, and they rotate musicians based on where they're booked. So there you go, folks. You've been lied to until 2011. Now, a month after British invasion left the Gazebo, a new band was brought in, and they were called English Channel.
They should have brought they should have had a Sex Pistols cover band. Is what they should have had.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't think so? Nobody agrees with that?
I think that'd be cool. I think that would be cool. I don't think it
I
would
don't
have
think it's
fly
very
because-
Disney.
Yeah.
It's not that Disney, no. No.
Couldn't have played.
I mean, Sid Vicious doesn't have to be like murdering his girlfriend on stage or anything.
Well, if it's a cover band,
then where's the
he
fun
doesn't
in that?
have
It's
to
a cover
be.
band, then he doesn't have to. But
You know, you can eliminate
they
that.
can just
from
dress
it.
the part.
Now, unlike their predecessors, English Channel was just a classic garage house band, and they played covers of all different British rock, including some punks. There may have been some Sex Pistols covered by English Channel.
I doubt it.
Well, they
Sid
didn't.
Vicious singing "It's a Small World."
There you go.
They would stick to more like The Clash, The Who, Stones.
Maybe
I
The
love The
Cure,
Clash.
because
The
you know
Cure.
it's just like heaven. They didn't have a particular dress style, unlike the British invasion. These guys just fucking wore whatever they had handy, it looked like. And, you know, they didn't last very long. They debuted May 3rd, 2011, and they were replaced in early June of the same year.
Yeah, they did not last long. They weren't that good, though.
They were replaced by the British Revolution, which sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well,
does.
they also looked familiar because it was the same fucking lineup as English Channel. They just changed the name. To make it sound like something they had before without getting sued. But now, if you look at what's going on now with British Revolution, because they're still there, the more recent photos, they seem like they've fallen in a bit more with having a style, and they kind of dress the part of being British. And you know, they look a lot less like a grunge band from Seattle that was formed by a bunch of soccer dads after practice one day. They like I said, they perform. Just check local show times down there. They usually start around 3 and play till 8, but you know, your mileage may vary. And then in the middle of all this crap, there was an indie folk band from called the Paul McKenna Band that played basically Scottish folk music. They had an acoustic guitar, some Kenny G looking guy on a woodwind, a dude on fiddle, and a chick keeping rhythm with what looks like a skillet. They
I play the skillet.
And here comes Scott schooling us on what that actually is.
I know. Well, hey, I listened to it, Scott. It sounded really good. I would have enjoyed to see what. I had no idea what the hell the lead singer. I'm assuming that was Paul. What he was saying, because Scottish, and they're gone now. Like damn near everything except the British Channel or the English Revolution. The Paul McKenna Band is gone.
Yes, no. The lead singer was Paul McKenna, and they're an actual band from Scotland. They're an actual touring band from Scotland. They came over, they toured for a little bit, and they went back over. They went back home to Scotland.
They lasted about a year.
Yeah, they were only
at
they were
Epcot.
they were there for only a year. They were really good. I liked them a lot. It was fun. It was kind of like, it was a little bit like Mumford, but less like poppy and more actual like folk music.
Yeah, I mean, she was playing a skillet. It was like a washboard skillet is what it looked like. It looked like a fucking pan with a washboard on one side.
There's been a couple of other entertainment aspects around World Showcase, or around the UK, notably the World Showcase players.
Whoa, well, yeah, and they're not actually they're not anywhere now.
No, they're not.
They
no.
don't exist anymore
They don't exist
either.
anymore, yeah.
Which is really, really sad because they were fun to watch.
My whole thing is basically, here's something you can't find anymore.
I know, but we want to talk about the history and all of it and incorporate to the most.
I am not gruntled by the fact that they're gone. This upsets me.
Not gruntled.
Because
And the sad thing is, that's the second time this weekend I've heard that term.
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah, they were basically an improv kind of group, and they would perform not only in the UK, but in other pavilions. They were basically a street show, but in the UK, they would set up this kind of Shakespeare in the Park kind of thing set up, and they would basically bum rush guests as they were walking by and try to lure them into their productions. And you could be expected to. You might have a part participating in like a retelling of King Arthur or something like Romeo and Juliet, which they called Romeo and Edna. And yeah, they would just kind of pop up. It was a lot like the street atmosphere in Hollywood studios, and they gone now because Iger.
Yeah, it was Iger's time.
It's 2014.
2014, I think, is when they left.
Yeah, that's when they were given the boot, and not the Canadian boot.
No, that went to Off Kilter.
Who should still fucking be there, by the way.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, there's plenty of entertainment around the UK Pavilion. So we'll get to those as we craft our ultimate UK Pavilion. We'll go through some of those and pick our favorites of those. But as you walk out of the courtyard area, there's some wonderful architecture on the opposite side facing the British Revolution bandstand.
Yeah, the first building you come to is home of the toy soldier. And now we're getting into the Georgian period of architecture.
So the toy soldier is, well, it's a toy shop.
Well,
No,
right,
not
Adam?
anymore.
It hasn't been a toy shop for a very long time. They actually now sell, like, Beatles stuff. They have the Rolling Stones stuff. They also have some of the Doctor Who items you can get there.
Keep calm and carry on posters everywhere.
Yeah. It's pretty much British pop culture.
It's pretty much. It's just British pop culture store. They used to have stores. I mean, you can get Paddington Bear there, but it's not a true toy store anymore. It hasn't been for quite a while.
So yes, the toy soldier, you can find a lot of the pop culture stuff,
but not toys.
Is that the shop they sell the soccer kits at?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
We're almost there. Almost there.
Maybe they should just change the name of the toy soldier to the Ot Topic.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The inside of that building always was creepy to me. I don't know why. It just always seemed creepy.
The toy soldier?
It's always so dark.
It's dark. It's got those stairs that go to nowhere.
Are you gonna say that's how Britain is?
I mean, that's British architecture. I mean, that's
stairs that go nowhere.
Everything's dark mahogany and just.
So what's upstairs? Oh, we're just one floor. We've got stairs. That's where we keep Airy.
It's like Hogwarts. If you can make it up the stairs, then you get to go upstairs. But if not, you run into the fucking ceiling.
The stairs move.
Oh, the Eschers.
Poof.
So as you make your way through Toy Soldier, the next shop that you'll enter is
the Crowd and Crest, which is kind of a weird thing because it's kind of a mix outside of Georgian and Victorian.
And this is also a hodgepodge of stuff inside as well. You can find books, shirts, cups, and Trenton has a little story about what else you can get there.
So we went in there, and they do. You can go in and search your last name, and they'll find your, you find it, you tell them your last name, and they print out your family crest. I don't know if it's just Eastern European names. I don't know, but I gave him my last name. The girl looked at me, and she goes, "For real?" And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, that's gonna be easy. So we got our printout.
You mean like Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's a common Scottish, Irish, English last name. So, they print it out and they give us our, it's a coat of arms and it gives you a brief history of what your last name means, where it come from, and all that. So it's actually pretty. It's a really cool thing, and I'm sure. I don't know if they can do it for everybody. I don't know how that works, but I know with my family, it was pretty easy to get done.
My Irish family name is Scott, so it doesn't get any easier than that.
No, it doesn't.
No, I mean
the UK ancestry that I have is Bell. So yeah.
My great grandmother's married name was Collins.
That would be super.
As in
super
Phil?
like South
Phil.
South British. That is quintessentially Essex and Sussex and London.
Well, I'm pretty German, so who wants to fight?
Well, speaking of the Revolutionary War, remember how World War II went?
Not so good.
I'm half German, so I'm always fighting with myself.
And World War I, yeah, we beat your ass twice.
I wasn't there for those, so it's cool.
So this shop I think is one of my favorites, and it's mainly because the display here, the swords and the armory that they have on display.
Which they got rid of the damn store.
I know they got rid of the store that sells swords, but
The HRC.
yeah, it's really
Kinda
cool.
sucks.
It's really cool to see like the three lions on the cross of St. George. It's an awesome display. Now you can't really buy anything anymore, but it's still a nice display.
Not even like LARPing swords.
Nope.
No, these are
You
real
can
swords.
buy swords at the Japanese store.
Any kind of sword
Yes,
is a
you
LARPing
can.
sword if you're not a pussy.
Holy fuck.
It's just
Nice
it-
badassery.
it's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Keep
It's
moving.
it from top to bottom. This shop is probably one of my favorites because the outside is kind of an ode to the Abbotsford Manor, which is the home of Sir Walter Scott. Tim, your relative probably.
Probably.
It's a Scottish manor, and they did the outside very well, along with the display inside and the crest and the family tree history that you can go and look up. It's pretty cool. It's very cool.
No, and like I said, and you can buy what I was talking about. They can either frame it for you or they can not frame it for you. Just give you the printout. The printout's only $40, and that's pretty cheap for that.
That's not bad.
I think for
It's
that,
relatively inexpensive.
yeah. I mean, for what you get with that, for just that printout, and it's very professional looking without being framed for $40. It's, for Disney, I would say for Disney prices, it's pretty fucking good.
So as you exit through the crest and the crown,
You come to Scott's porn store.
oh my God, this is the greatest store ever.
Sportsman
Whoa,
shop.
hang on, let me sit up.
Well, there are more Manchester United kits than Chelsea kits, just so everyone knows, because Man U's better than Chelsea, but whatever.
Hey, how'd that FA Cup go?
Hey, who has most league titles, and who has more Champions League cups, and who has
Hey,
more
who
trophies?
really cares?
Not me.
Nah.
And that's a Victorian style building on the outside.
It's funny how they put all the different architecture styles together, but they all seem to flow pretty well.
It does.
It does
It
flow
really
very
does
well.
flow.
Because the changes are very mild, so you can actually look at them and see influences for each era in each building, but you can also differentiate them and tell when each building is supposed to be. With the exception of one building, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. But and for a reason. But the sportsman shop also has a wonderful recreation of the entryway to Hampton Court. King Henry VIII's masterpiece, Hampton Court Palace, which is amazing. That was probably one of the best royal palaces we visited over there.
Epcot, the only thing it holds is a loo.
Yes, it holds the loo.
So it's also a lot like the tower for Rapunzel there in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
This
Yes,
great, awesome
pretty much.
spire that is
Is a
just
loo.
nothing but a shittery.
Shittery. And a pissery.
Shittery. It's a shitter. But outside, they have wonderful gardens. So the tree... a couple things about this architecture there, and true to form for Disney for doing this. The hedge maze, there's an amazing hedge maze at Hampton Court. They did a little tiny miniature version of it in the garden there. But also, Henry has these beautiful Italian gardens with these triangular trees, and it's like famous. It's a famous garden in Hampton Court, and they recreate these trees in the gardens there at right outside the loo.
Right outside the bathroom.
Yep. Absolutely beautiful. I love this little ode to Southwest London.
Triangular shaped trees. I've been drawing those since I was 4 years old, man.
It's Minecraft.
It's horticulture.
You can bring a horticulture, but you can't make her drink.
That is the opening line.
Is that where Harry had to go get all them crux things?
Yep.
Yes.
Is that where Dumbledore was tripping on water?
Yes. Just like we do, because our bodies are not used to water, so when we drink it, we're like, what the fuck is that?
It's like peyote.
Yeah.
Dumbledore was a huge fan of gin. Just saying. Might have been drunk all the time.
I would have been.
I was gonna say the last scenery in before we get across the street and go across the way to the pub is the phone booths that once held phones.
They did. But you
actually
missed
had
a very important part of this pavilion.
What's that?
The center square. It's where the statue is in the middle of the pavilion. It has a name. It literally has a name. It's Britannia Square.
Really?
And that little statue, they toyed with the idea of putting up a statue of various kings and queens. It almost was a William Shakespeare statue, a Lord Byron statue, Lord Nelson, but in the end they decided to just put up a sundial. Did you also know that each one of the streets in this pavilion also has a name?
Yes, they do.
I did not know that, actually.
Is there a Bleecker?
Nope.
Nope, no
I'm
Bleecker
out.
Street. That's in New York.
Tudor Lane, Upper and Lower Regency Street, and High Street.
You can't have a UK Pavilion without a high street. And on the high street is the pub.
Is the pub. The piece de resistance of the UK Pavilion.
How did Simon Pegg put it? Well, we'll just save the world, nip down for a pint in the pub.
I wish it was called the Winchester.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
You want to go to the Winchester?
Big heavy doors. Know all the exits. I can smoke.
Oh, man.
love-
I love that movie.
Yeah, I
love
love-
that movie.
I love
So,
that movie.
Tim,
So
in true form, let's talk about the pub, because the architecture of the pub is disjointed.
very
for a reason.
disjointed for a reason. They built the Rose and Crown, and it has 4 different pub styles in it: Victorian, Dickensian, Riverfront, and Tudor.
And the reason for this is because oftentimes in London, pubs would be placed into a building in existence already, and they would change some exterior and
It's a recreation of pubs that are along the line of the Grand Union Canal, which goes from London to Birmingham.
Scott's actually right here. I hate to say that hurt me.
So's Tim.
yeah, Tim's right. This was a recreation of a few different pubs that they really loved.
Yeah.
Pubs generally were just stuck into places, and they would change the frontage. They would change the bottom level up because it's too expensive to redo the whole damn thing.
I know, Scott. I just agreed with you.
I know. But we're making all good points here. All good things. Now, if you can agree with me on the Beatles, then we'll be friends again.
Being that it's designed after pubs along the Grand Union Canal, there are actual locks on the lagoon side of the building.
I want to see these next time I go down there. Do they ever use them for any boat to pass?
No, they used to have gates on either side, but the gates have been removed for some reason.
He means there's smoked salmon on the outside of the building. Is what he means. Locks.
Locks.
That sounds
With
good. actually.
bagels
Bagel.
and capers.
Scottish smoked salmon is delicious.
The lock keeper, the official lock keeper for the Rose and Crown locks, is Thomas Dudley, who ironically was not born anywhere near the Grand Union Canal. He was born in Yardley Hastings, which is near Northampton. But he was the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. He was also the founder of Cambridge. I got a kick out of this little bit of trivia for the pavilion. Outside on the sign is a Latin phrase.
We should adopt that.
We should.
We should.
We
We
should.
really should.
Because it is otium cum dignitate, which means leisure with dignity.
That's exactly us. We've already done a bar review of the Rose and Crown pub. There are 2 separate places to this. Even though they are right next to each other,
They're literally connected,
can-
Scott. There's no barrier.
Still walking.
they are connected and separated by a fucking banister. Literally.
Yes, but they are separated.
Also, pro tip with this bar: Don't go in the front door. If you go in the back door, you can get in before they're actually open, and you can go take a shit.
Previously, we have done a bar review of the Rose and Crown Pub, which is connected to the Rose and Crown Dining Room. If you want to go back to episode 58, that's where we did the Rose and Crown the Rose and Crown Pub bar review. You can take a listen to all the things we have over there, and listen to our thoughts on the Rose and Crown Pub. There are a couple of little snack carts, quick service places that you can go and get some food and drinks at the UK Pavilion. The first one is appropriately named the UK Beer Cart. Over there, you can get a couple of beverages. They have a Bass Ale on draft, Harp Lager, and Magner's Pear Cider. The food they have there are seasoned house-made crisps. If you don't know what a crisps is,
Potato chip.
well, yes, it's a potato chip because chips are fries. Over at there is a chip shop, so you can go over to the Yorkshire Fish and Chip Shop over at the UK Pavilion, and that is where you can get some amazing beer battered fish and chips served with house-made tartar sauce. It's delicious. They're hot. They come out right as you order them. They are super fucking hot. Don't bite into them right away. Let me just say that. But go over there. You can check those out. The fish and chip shop is wonderful. Has anyone gotten anything from there?
I've eaten there multiple times. It's delicious. I mean, it's very authentic. It's very well, not a bunch of thick batter, still very crisp, moist fish, great fries, or chips, whatever you want to call them.
Chips.
They provide
Chips.
your vinegar, whatever you want. The tartar sauce is fantastic. This is one of my favorite quick services, and it's passed over by a lot of people because there's not a lot of options. I get it, and if you don't really like fish, but for the price of what you get a lot of high quality meaty fish. I think it's cod. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
and
it's cod.
For what you get, I mean, we enjoyed it thoroughly. The only problem with the location is there's a lot of birds, and I'm not a big bird guy. I think we've gone over this before. I fucking hate birds. And those little weird, what are they called? The white birds with the curvy bills. You know what I'm talking about?
They're like the ones that basically will eat anything you throw at them.
Oh, they'll jump on your fucking table and grab French fries out of your fucking basket.
Florida
Yes.
egrets.
Yeah.
See?
That's why
That's it.
you eat with a bar of soap and a sock.
And Stephanie's not normally like this, and she's like, the last time we were there and we were eating at this place, she's like, I'm gonna kick this fucking bird. And he was being a dick.
Those things are like New York pigeons.
Yeah, they are.
But the problem is because people are stupid and they feed them.
Well, yeah, same thing with the ducks and the squirrels. They have no fear of humans, and they associate people with food now. So
Yeah. So at the fish shop, you can get fish and chips. It's $11.49 for 2 sizable pieces of fish and a basket of chips.
it's essentially
Can I ask a quick question?
two half fillets. What's up?
I've never been there, okay? And
Okay.
my only experience of fish and chips comes from Long John Silver's.
better. Way, way better.
Do you get like a shitload of the crumbs of the breading in your basket when you get them? Or is it
No,
just
no.
the
Okay.
oh man.
No.
Good.
can I get some hush puppies at Rosencrantz?
No.
I don't
No
know.
hush
I ain't
puppies.
going.
The best thing you get at Long John's is the crumbs that fall off the fish, man. Just
No,
like
it's
nothing,
the hush
just that
puppies.
pure fried batter.
Yeah.
We'd order that.
You
as a
can.
side.
You can get Victoria sponge cake, which is sponge cake filled with jam and buttercream frosting. That's
but
delicious.
not marmalade.
No, it's jam.
It's not
totally
Jaffe.
different. No, Jaffa.
Whatever.
Joppy?
Jaffa cakes. Jaffa.
Joffrey?
J-A.
Doesn't he have that lemonade stand outside the Hollywood Tower Hotel?
Yep. You can also get
Yep.
whole fruit there. They have whole fruit if you are inclined to pollute your body with good things.
Drink a glass of water and eat a piece of fruit. Your body won't know what the fuck's going on. What is this?
Yeah. They also have fountain beverages. You can get Coke products, bottled water, coffee. Twinings has the English breakfast tea there. They make it. Ask them to make it builder style. It's much better. It's really heavy with. They double up the tea bags, and then they also pour a shit ton of sugar in there. It's really good.
A shit ton of sugar.
There's plenty to drink there. You can also get your Bass Ale draft and Harp Lager on draft there as well.
Is the pavilion still sponsored by Bass?
I don't think they're sponsored. I don't know if they're sponsored by Bass anymore, but they serve Bass products.
I know
So it's
they
like
were. I don't know if it still is.
it's all stuff you can get at your local beer store. I mean, Bass and Harp are readily available.
Maybe at your local beer store, but I'm from Arkansas.
I wish they had Carlsberg.
We just got
You
the
could-
Youngling beer down here.
Trenton, you can find Carlsberg over at the Norwegian Pavilion
That doesn't even make sense, Scott.
because it's a Danish beer. Carlsberg is a
Yeah.
Danish beer.
Right, but
It's
not
Swedish.
Norway.
It's Finland. Scandinavian.
Denmark is
Did
a
they just
Scandinavian
lump
country.
all those countries into one?
Yep, pretty much.
That's a bit stereotypical, isn't it?
Arendelle. So, as you finish up at the chip shop, head over to the pub, the Rose and Crown Pub. It's a wonderful pub. Like I said, we talked about it on episode 58. Since then, Trenton has been there. Trenton,
Yes.
how was it?
Is
Is it your new home?
so
It feels like home.
it is, and
homeless.
it only feels that way because, like I've said multiple times, my family's from that area of the world. We feel very comfortable in our pub here. It's our favorite place to go to. So it just feels very much like, hey, it's like we're almost at home. But not that you want to be at home when you're on vacation, but you get what I'm fucking saying. And actually, the newest thing we got, when I was there, we just drank beer. But Stephanie ended up ordering a Welsh Dragon while we were there last time. And it was fucking incredible.
it is so good.
And it's strong, but it's so fucking good. You can't even tell. I mean, it's so the Welsh Dragon's gonna be peach schnapps, melon liqueur, creme de menthe, orange juice, and pineapple juice. And it turns out this bright green, almost neon green color, and it is delicious.
Does it taste like an Ecto Cooler?
It
Kind of does actually.
Yeah,
Because that's what Scott compared Reggie's Revenge to.
it's
It was
pretty
it's
similar.
almost like an adult Ecto Cooler.
it's pretty similar. Yeah, I mean it's very much. It just tastes like juice. I mean, you don't,
Yeah.
but it'll fuck you up. I mean,
See, now, my favorite was the one, I thought they discontinued this, and that was the English Rose. And that was
it's not on the menu
Beefeater
anymore.
gin, apricot brandy, sweet vermouth, pineapple juice, orange juice, and cranberry juice in a glass, and it was delicious.
That's not on the menu anymore. So
It's not. I know that. I think they discontinued it.
they did.
They also have another special drink, because we can't do the UK without Ireland, and that's the Leaping Leprechaun.
See, that doesn't sound good to me.
It doesn't.
Everybody
it's-
knows leprechauns can't
It's
leap.
just
Those little
Jameson,
legs.
Don Q, Cristal Rum, Svedka Vodka, melon liqueur, and sweet and sour topped with Sprite. That sounds fucking
Yeah, it's
Why
horrid.
does everything have fucking melon liqueur in it?
because
because
it's
it makes
green.
it
because
green.
it adds sweetness, so they can
Yeah.
get away with adding all
Adam
that
can't have
fucking
it,
liquor.
so that's why he's upset.
Yep, I'll be passing on all these drinks.
Yeah. Well, no, you can. Well, no, you can't have the English Rose. Sorry, Adam.
Anything with melon liqueur in it, I have to pass on. It makes
you
my whole
could have.
stone
If
numb.
you know what, if we finally figure out our time machine, we can go back in time a couple of years ago and get the English Rose.
Or he can say, I don't want the melon liqueur in it.
Yeah, but then
Then
it's not.
it's
It's not going to be very good.
n- Yeah,
Yeah. Or he can get a pint because they have some
Yeah.
great beers on draft. They have Bass Ale, Stella, Harp, Boddington's English Pub Ale, Strongbow Cider, Guinness Stout, and God damn it, it's gonna get a plethora of jokes right now. The Woodpecker Sweet English Cider.
you said Packer.
He said wood.
And wood.
And he said sweet English.
I hate my life.
Just go with it, Trenton. Just go with it, man. That's all I got right
Just
now.
roll with
okay?
it. Just roll with it. I got it, Mikey.
I got, Strongbow is English?
Strongbow is Stephanie's favorite apple cider.
Yeah, Strongbow's English.
Oh.
Magners is also English, but Strongbow's better.
Yes. I don't like ciders. I don't. I,
I-
never
I-
got into
It's
it.
too sweet.
I
I mean,
know it's for beer drinkers who just don't want to drink beer. Mm-hmm. And they want to, I'm drinking a cider.
Like I said, over on episode 58, we did a full review of all the drinks and all the things you can get there. They have some great Scotch flights. They have some great Scotches there. Johnny Walker Blue, Macallan 18, 25, Lagavulin 16. If you want to go smoky, get a Lagavulin.
I just went Smoky Scott and I bottled it down.
Smoky Joe, baby.
Smoky Joe's gone and I can't get it here in Arkansas.
That's Kalila 12 in that, buddy.
Is it?
It's really good.
It is really good. I'm a fan.
That's what gives it the smokiness, is the Kalila.
Really? Well, I can get that
they-
down here, but
Yeah, they have Glenkinchie, Oban. They have some wonderful scotches there. Honestly, I recommend the Macallan Flight or the Single Malt Flight. Single Malt Flight is Glenkinchie, Oban, and Lagavulin for $15. It's 3 1-ounce pours for that. You're going to taste a wide variety of different types of scotches. You'll have Lowland, Highland, and Isla. So grab that one while you're there.
I can't imagine Scott recommending a flight.
Never.
Is it wine? What's happening?
There is wine at the pub. None of it comes from England.
So were we talking about the Macallan Flight? Because that's the best drink deal on property.
I was recommending the Single Malt Flight, which is Glenkinchie, Oban, and Lagavulin for $15. That's a great price for that. The Macallan Flight also is a wonderful deal. You get 12, 15, 18
For $24?
for $24.99.
That's not bad.
That's
Incredible.
a damn good. That is a damn
It's
good
a really good price.
price.
Are we still going there in November? Trenton, Adam?
Yes. I got the reservation.
How's that Walker Flight? Is that a good deal? I don't know. Black, green, and gold. I don't know anything about Johnny Walker.
So yeah, no, it's actually a good deal, and I'll tell you what my favorite of those 3 are. So the Johnny Walker Black is readily available for everybody. It is a fine everyday drinking whiskey. The gold has changed a lot. It used to be an 18-year-old. Now they've taken the age statement out of it, and it's just a blend. The green is smoky. It has only 4 whiskeys in it, unlike the Johnny Walker Black, which has 34. But it's got a nice smokiness to it. It's smooth but smoky. Love that. And that's $12 for the Johnny Walker Flight. Also a great deal. That's the pub. Probably one of my favorite restaurants on property
Without question.
is the Rose and Crown Pub.
Yep.
The dining room.
The Rose and Crown dining room is a must-do for us every trip.
Who's been to the Rose and Crown dining room?
Me, every time,
Has everybody,
obviously.
anybody been there?
No.
Nope.
You gotta go there.
I think it's just me.
So good.
I guess, Scott, you've been there, but
I've been there. I've been there like 3 or 4 times.
we love it. I mean,
We have a reservation for after the sheet up.
You're gonna like it. I think you're really gonna like it.
it's also, we watched Illuminations. I watched Illuminations for the first time ever in April from the patio here. It's unbeatable. I mean,
You watched Illuminations for the first time in like April. You hate the Beatles. This is like fighting
Illuminations is also my new favorite fireworks show.
Illuminations
about
has
damn
always
time.
been my favorite fireworks show.
And I love Star Wars, but the Star Wars show is nothing on Illuminations.
Nothing has anything on Illuminations.
No. My 2 favorite spots to watch Illuminations are now La Hacienda.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna sound bougie, but the fireworks cruise. You gotta do a fireworks cruise.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And you got to wear one of them shiny foil suits they wear in Hawaii.
No, you just got if the wind is blowing, you gotta wear goggles. You gotta wear safety
Goggles.
But I mean, if you're sitting on that patio, Illuminations, they shoot fireworks right from that little where you guys were saying there was the lock right there, the fake lock. It's right there. They shoot fucking rockets right out of the wall.
If you're on the fireworks cruise, you get hit with shrapnel. It doesn't get any more real than that.
I feel like this isn't safe. Like, I feel like they shouldn't. Like, there's no way that's okay. They're like, yeah, just send them out there. It's fucking fine. Whatever.
I feel
But
like
Trenton-
this should be,
Cardboard. It's not like
You
it's...
can take home a piece of a mortar shell. It's like
Dude,
it's a free
people
Epcot
sue
souvenir
Disney. People sue Disney for like scooters running
for
into
getting
them and
run
shit.
over by a scooter. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's stupid. I won't.
But Trenton,
yes.
I also like to live dangerously.
I like to live dangerously.
Do I make you orny? Do I?
You make me ornery.
What doesn't make you ornery?
So most recently we were there in April, and we actually both we were there with me and Stephanie had dinner here with Brant and Sydney. We each ordered a Scotch egg, which is not a traditional Scotch egg. It comes hard boiled, which I'm not a super big fan of.
It should be soft boiled.
It should have a runny yolk.
a slightly runny yolk.
I was a little disappointed with that, but it was still good. It's not what I wanted.
That mustard sauce is amazing.
It's got horseradish or something in it.
Well, that's English mustard.
It's like spicy brown mustard, but with horseradish.
See, that's
it's European mustard. It's European hot mustard.
It's English mustard. That's what gives it that like horseradish flavor.
Now we also had Brant had ordered the United Kingdom cheese platter, which came with it was like a yellow cheddar, a sharp white cheddar, and a blue, I think.
Probably Dubliner.
Dubliner, Leicester, and a Stilton.
Yes, that's what it was. So the problem that we had is they served it with the accoutrement for the cheese, and they put it all over the top of the cheese instead of letting you choose how much you wanted with it.
Yeah.
So when they put like the cranberry like coulis all over
Chutney.
I thought it was a coulis, but whatever. Same. It's essentially the same idea.
Same thing.
And it's just like, well, I didn't want that all over it. I'd like to choose how much I have, and that was a bit frustrating. But I didn't order it, so if Brant was unhappy,
what was the
that,
cranberry? What was the cranberry chutney on? Was it on
the blue?
Stilton?
I think it was in the blue.
Yeah, the Stilton. I was gonna say that's probably really good with that.
Now there was pickled onions with the white cheddar, I believe, with the sharp white cheddar, which was great. And the other one I can't remember what was with that. But that was really good. So the other things that we didn't order that sounded a little weird. Now, leek and potato soup is very traditional.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we've all probably had it if you've had anything that has to do with any English food at all. Now, the one thing that I think is weird on this this menu is the coronation salad, the crisp salad with apple madras yogurt dressing. That just doesn't sound good to me.
So coronation salad is a traditional British dish.
But it just sounds gross.
It's okay.
It does.
But the entrees here are amazing. Obviously, so you can get fish and chips here.
It's different, though. It's not the quick service.
It's different.
Yes.
It's a whole fucking, like, fish.
Now, getting to the entrees. So doing research for this episode, I found that my favorite entree from this menu is gone.
What was your favorite entree?
It was a New York strip with a green peppercorn whiskey cream sauce and a piece of fried fish, and it's completely gone off the menu.
The surf and turf.
And I don't know if they were losing money because people were ordering it, and it was the only entree on the menu that was over $30, and it's completely gone.
It was really good. This was a wonderful meal. It was a perfectly cooked steak with a great piece of fish.
You get the haricot vert, and you got the bubble and squeak
Yep.
with it, I believe. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was and I've argued that it's the best single quick service if you're doing the dining plan. It was the best single quick service to use a dining plan credit on.
So they got rid of my favorite entree, too, and that was Sunday roast.
I don't know. Yeah.
You can't go British without Yorkshire pudding and roast beef.
I don't know what this menu has become. It's kind of disappointing at this point. I mean, they have the fish and chips, which is good, but it's not the quick service, but it's much more refined, I would say. The bangers and mash, which is your traditional English sausage with you get potatoes and mushrooms and onion jam and a demi-glace. Your traditional shepherd's pie, which everyone's had. Corned beef and cabbage. You get a burger, some pan-roasted salmon, and a chicken masala curry.
So I like this because this takes a ton of different areas of British cuisine, and you have everything from chicken tikka masala, which is by far the national dish of Britain,
right?
To the pan roasted Scottish salmon, which is an amazing dish. Andrew's gotten that a couple times because she loves salmon.
But why have they trimmed this menu so hard?
I think it's because they want to make sure that they have so this is a rotating menu. They do rotate things in and out. This changes frequently.
I don't know, man. I've eaten there like 6 times in the past 2 years, and I don't know.
I will say I applaud them for using ground lamb in the shepherd's pie and not turning it into cottage pie with ground beef.
It's peasant's pie.
So
I thought peasant's pie was vegetable.
No, if it's ground beef, it's peasant's pie.
So moving on to desserts as well. Speaking of trimming the menu, they've taken my favorite dessert off as well, which was the banoffee pudding or the banoffee.
Oh
the
my
banoffee
God,
tart.
I love banoffee pie.
Completely gone.
I love banoffee. If you have not had banoffee pie, you have not lived life yet.
And it's completely not on the menu anymore. Now the sticky toffee pudding is very good.
That's always good.
But the banoffee. I mean, why have they taken the most ordered items on the menu off?
I don't know. They added a lemon scone, and look, I know scones are quintessentially British as well.
That was there when the banoffee was on there in April.
So then what did they... Was the trifle always... I've always seen the trifle.
Everything that's there was on there in April. They've just removed the banoffee.
That's disappointing, because banoffee pie is amazing.
That's what I order every time. It's got that great banana custard. I mean, it's...
Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now, banoffee is a mix of banana and toffee pie. It's delicious.
It's fantastic, and they've just removed
banana custard and banana custard, toffee sauce drizzled on top of that, and...
Oh, banana, toffee, banoffee. Okay, that makes sense.
Now, I will say this is not the best place to bring your kids, unless you have adventurous eating children.
No, because they really don't. Buttered chicken.
And I love buttered chicken.
I love buttered chicken. Look, I've had buttered chicken at 2 a.m. It's great. It is the perfect drunk food.
I get it at the Cracker Barrel.
But unless your kids want buttered chicken, cheese and turkey flatbread, turkey meatballs, or the fish and chips, bangers and mash, which is already on the menu, or cheesy pasta, it's not really the place that you want to bring your kids.
So now, I have a couple of tips for those that have kids that are picky eaters, because I have probably the pickiest of picky eaters. And when we're planning on going here, we're trying to go here in November. Like, I have a really picky eater, and he only eats pasta with nothing on it. Plain pasta, just boiled salt and Parmesan cheese. You can get the pasta made, or you can get pasta without the actual sauce or any cheese sauce on it. So if you do have plain picky eaters, order pasta noodles and they'll bring it to you. It's a lifesaver.
So that was my only gripe, and it's not really a gripe because I don't have kids, so I don't really give a fuck.
It's not a gripe.
So, but all the drinks and everything are available while you're eating in the dining room, so that's not an issue. There's a great wine selection. There's great specialty cocktails. The scotch, the flights, the regular pours of scotch. They do all your layered drafts. So, this is I don't want to say my favorite restaurant on property, but it's definitely we eat here every time. It's a must-do for us.
They also have a beer flight here where you can get your choice of Boddington's, Bass, Stout, and Harp. You get 3 of those. You can get a beer flight there, too.
Yeah.
So you can try all of them and compare.
Yeah, but this is not really... those are... Okay. I don't care for Bass or Harp, so...
I don't mind Bass. I like Bass. Harp's...
Boddington's also a little flat for me. It's just a...
That's from Manchester.
I get it. No, I know. It's just... It's okay. It's just
if you've been to the Rose and Crown, let us know. Let us know your thoughts. I love it. I even had it at as my corporate holiday party way back on episode 45.
You had both of the venues as your corporate holiday party, I believe, right?
I did.
They are 2 separate entities, but yet you thought they were one.
Oh my God. These guys made it seem like I made you walk from one end of Epcot to the other. And it is literally 5 feet from one end to the other. So if you've been to the Rose and Crown, let us know your thoughts. Let us know how you think it is. So as we get through this, Ultimate Pavilion. Really, the only thing we can choose from is the entertainment, because that's the only thing that really has changed over the course of the years. There's been no attractions. There's been a few... The meet and greet locations have changed. There was once, as Mikey noted, back on episode 56, I think?
It's when I wanted to hang out in the little boy's room and drink whiskey.
That's right. The quiet places. That is no longer there, unfortunately.
It's there, but it's locked.
It's there,
well,
but it's
the
locked,
Fast Pass turnstiles are still there.
Yes. So, what is the ultimate place to grab a drink and sit down and just have a drink?
I've never done it.
Not in UK.
I like it.
What would you, Trent, if you're going to, knowing what we know now about the pavilion, if you're going to grab a drink from the pub, which you can always get to go, they'll put it in a glass and you can take it out of the pub if you don't want to just go over to the cart and get only the 2 beers that are there.
Right.
You can go into the pub and get a beer to go. Mm-hmm. Where would you take your beer to go sit?
I go and sit by the lake. There's tables and benches right right outside the Rose and Crown. You can either sit outside. There's an outside seating area that's not necessarily part of the restaurant, but to the left, where it's kind of a free-for-all in seating. You can sit there, but it's very hard to get a seat there. Or, there's stand-up tables over there. I don't mind standing up over there or finding a bench right there on the lake and just looking out across the water, especially if it's a nice day. It's relaxing. I think it's relaxing. It's one of the things that we like doing when we go to Epcot is finding a drink in each pavilion and going and sitting down and just kind of looking at the water and kind of giving ourselves a moment to decompress.
Mikey, what about you? Where are you grabbing and taking your drink to?
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't grab my drink and have it in the pub there and take advantage of the live entertainment they've got inside the pub.
Which is?
It's the gal that plays the piano there.
The Hat Lady.
Not anymore. She was the Hat Lady.
Formerly the Hat Lady.
Formerly the Hat Lady. Now she's just Carol. And she'll sing some pub tunes for you or, various other British medleys and most anything you might ask for. I did a whole lot of research on this bit because I was really fascinated by the entertainment inside the pub. So before her, they had the Button Lady or, a gal known as the Vivacious Pam Brody, who played until she was literally unable to play because she was so old. Physically, she was too frail to perform anymore. And
It's pretty fucking old.
Trivia, thank you. Her husband is a guy by the name of Dan Dillon, I believe. His last name is Dillon. I could be getting the first name wrong. But he was a performer at MGM Studios. He played Sid Cahuenga.
Sid Cahuenga,
who has the novelty store, the memorabilia store.
The curio shop.
Yes. He played that iconic character. And when I was doing research, I read a whole thing about the two of them and mostly about him. And that was a rabbit hole I'm not going to get into right now. But if you get a chance, Google it, look it up, read that story. It is fantastic and amazing about if Sid is a real person or if it was just a Disney myth or a Disney legend. But yeah, Pam performed there, and then when she got to where she couldn't, they brought in the Hat Lady, and then the Hat Lady was then replaced by Carol, who is the same person, which is a lot like what they did with the English Channel when they got replaced by the British Revolution. So Disney pretty much has a thing for cutting shtick. Carol was the Hat Lady who... Her shtick was she traveled the world, and wherever she went, she could look a different hat, and she would put on a different hat and tell you the story about how she got it, and sing some songs about how she got it. It was very entertaining, and they went full Whispering Canyon on her and said, "No, you just sing."
Yeah, she was super interactive with the crowd. It was almost like being in a pub in the UK where it's late at night and there's essentially karaoke going on. It was a lot of fun.
So that's where I'd hang out. I'd want to enjoy that and not have to walk anywhere like I'm at a corporate event or some shit.
Look, that is a wonderful place. I can't tell you how many times I've bellied up to the bar and just sat around or standing around the tables. There is some seating inside the pub. It's very, very limited. So if you do, get there early and don't leave. Can't drink all day if you didn't start in the morning.
Oh my god, the waiting to get into this place when it first opens is... it's a long line during slow times. I mean...
Unless you go in the back door.
Unless you sneak in the back door.
Adam...
Always go in the back door.
Adam, knowing what you know now about the UK Pavilion, where would you grab a drink and head off to?
I'd probably just check out the pub because I've been wanting to check it out. So, and that we're planning on doing in November when we eat there. So, I'm just gonna check out the pub. Hopefully, are there like windows that overlook the water?
No. The windows overlook the street, so you can sit. There's tables. Tables right next to the windows. That's a great place. Sit down if you can. Grab a table and just people watch through the windows like you're at an actual pub.
See, that would be great. I can see myself doing that. That would be kind of fun.
It's great, but I can tell you when you first get there in the morning when it first opens, the tables aren't set out yet. For more standing room for people to yeah,
they bring them out like mid-afternoon.
Yeah, people that are rushing in, they don't have them out there immediately because I'm telling you, once this place opens, it gets fucking packed as soon as it opens. I mean, it's almost like I can compare it to Spaceship Earth when Epcot first opens, and it gets fucking crammed immediately, and then as the day goes on, people kind of filter out, and it's just a less waiting time. It's almost the same.
Yeah. Tim, what about you?
I'm going to cross the English Channel and head over to France, where there's better alcohol and better food.
He's not even taking a drink from the UK Pavilion. He's just fucking going. He's making his Brexit and going to France.
I'm making my Brexit. I'm going to France. I'm crossing the English Channel.
Well, at least France doesn't have all the damn drinks with Midori in it.
It does. There's a lot of mellow liqueur here.
It's got my Grand Marnier slushy.
It does.
I'm sorry.
You're not grabbing a drink at. Well, I know you don't like hops.
Listen, I will, because we're trying it in November, and doing the research for the show today, I gained a whole new appreciation for this pavilion, but I don't know. I still want to cross the river and go into France.
For as much as I'm an Anglophile, Tim's a Francophile.
I am. Well, my grandma would have beat my ass if I wasn't.
Even during Food and Wine or Flower and Garden, the snacks and drinks in this place are fantastic every time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember if I ever got anything from...
Oh my god, this was...
Yo, you did. The Fisherman's Pie.
That was from Ireland.
Well, that's in this pavilion.
It's the same pavilion.
Yeah, but it was further away from...
It's
still
like
in the
half,
pavilion, though.
yeah.
Still
It's
the
halfway.
pavilion.
It's halfway between UK and Canada.
I mean, this is where Stephanie got the biscuit with the smoked salmon
smoked
tartare.
salmon and.
They have
God, that's so good.
during Food and Wine. They have the.
It sounds like something I would eat during freaking, like, one of my Jewish things. It's like on a Sunday.
Oh, it's so good. It's like a cheddar.
It's so
like
good.
a
They have
cheddar
the-
biscuit.
the cheese dip with the bread. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's.
Oh, fondue.
It's. I don't know if it's called fondue.
No, it's not called fondue, but that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I think literally it's fondue.
But I mean, this pavilion has it's a hidden gem, and I think a lot of people pass it by. I mean, you can ask Mikey. Until we started doing this episode tonight, he literally said he passes by this pavilion every time he's done it.
I walk right
Absolutely.
through it because maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but I think was it one of the few pavilions that half of it's on one side of the road and half of it's on the other, kind of?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because the Rose and Crown is on the lake side, and the
Lagoon
rest
side,
of it's
yeah.
on the other side, and it just I don't know why I've never stopped. I think I've never stopped because it doesn't seem exotic enough to me to warrant me stopping, because I'm familiar with, I've seen A Knight's Tale. I know what goes on over in the London.
So for me, the place I would go is obviously you got to go to the pub, grab a pint, and I'm taking it over to London. I'm taking it over to Grosvenor Square in London, and that's the courtyard there. Sit down there on a nice sunny afternoon and sit on the curb, listen to the British Revolution, enjoy your beer. That band, they play some of the best music of all time.
Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Animals.
Zeppelin.
all that.
Animals, Zeppelin, The Clash, The Who.
Did they play Sabbath?
No, they don't play Sabbath.
What about like Grey Sabbath, which is the toned down version?
No, unfortunately they don't.
Sabbath.
Mediocre Sabbath.
They play
Off-White
some
Sabbath.
amazing,
Off-White Sabbath.
amazing.
Khaki Sabbath.
Egg Crew Sabbath.
They play Khaki Sabbath, which is a bunch of guys
Mother of Pearl
from work
Sabbath.
that get together.
They play some amazing music, and go check them out. It's like going to Hyde Park and listening to a concert. It's amazing. But I want to take a second, because some of the best cast members that I've ever met at Disney are from the UK, and this pavilion is stocked with British cast members who are wonderfully helpful. I want to make mention of one that I've met a couple of times, and that's Carl the bartender.
Is he
The
from
croc
the
wrestler.
one from Wales?
No, the one from Leicester.
Oh, the one that I like is the bartender from Wales, and he's fucking incredible. I think his name's Craig.
Possibly. There's plenty of people from the UK over there. In fact, the entire pavilion is staffed by UK cast members. But Carl's been there forever, and he does this awesome trick where he balances a glass of Guinness on a dime. And if you see him there, if you see Carl there, he's got service excellence pins, which like only 2% of cast members have.
He's blue. He's got a blue name tag.
No, it's not blue name tag, but he's got the gold pins.
He's got flair.
Yeah, he's got flair. He makes. I think he's trained all of the people to make the Shamrock and the Guinness, which is nothing special, but it's fun.
I did want to mention also this Rose and Crown Pub. It was the only place that we went to dinner all week on Brandon City's honeymoon that they recognized that it was their honeymoon. They took a menu and they all signed it. Everyone in the restaurants, all their servers signed it and wrote a little note on their form. They took an old menu and gave it to them. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice.
It was
nice.
Pretty, and our server was very, very, very helpful. She very much knew that we were there to watch Illuminations, so she's like, all right, I'll stretch it out so you guys can watch Illuminations, and she knew what was going on, and I'm sure that happens every night, but she was very accommodating to what we wanted, and I think we definitely tipped her to to reciprocate, but she knew what was happening, and she like I said, it was the only time all week that I feel like they got recognized for their honeymoon was at Rose and Crown.
There's some amazing cast members. If you do meet Carl, ask him to show you pictures of his crocodile wrestling. He's got them with him. Go check out the pub. It's a wonderful place. Grab a pint and just walk around the UK and check out all the sights because it's a beautifully decorated pavilion.
It also has really nice shitters.
Never been in one of those.
Well, they call them thrones for a reason.
Yeah. No, the bathrooms in the UK are nice.
I've been in the bathrooms, just never sat down.
Well, Scott's too scared to shit in Disney World. But
no, I just do it in my hotel.
It's all impacted. It's fucking horrible. So I would say the UK Pavilion is only second to the American Pavilion because those bathrooms just got redone.
Oh, you mean bathroom-wise?
Yeah.
I know. You want to do a top 10 bathrooms around the world.
Yeah, shitters. Yeah, totally.
Wonderful, wonderful pavilion. Go check it out. Make sure you grab a drink, and then share your pictures from inside the pavilion. If you've got yourself a picture of yourself inside the pavilion, share it on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/3sheets. But in order to become a member, Mikey,
yes, you got to sacrifice your firstborn.
Nope, too Jewish.
Shit. That's oh shit.
That's a Robin Hood Men in Tights joke.
Yeah, you gotta answer 3 questions, 3 bonehead questions that anybody can answer as long as they're not a robot. Answer those questions, we'll approve you to come and partake with us at 3 Sheets Nation, 3 Sheets to the Mouse. The podcast you're listening to has a Facebook page. You should be a card-carrying member. There's not a real card. You can print one off. It just says, I am member, and put it in your wallet. It qualifies for discounts nowhere, but you will be like someone who wears a jacket that says members only. What are you a member of? I don't know, but I got my jacket that says members only. Well, you are member of in your card, pocket, wallet. So yeah, come on over. Facebook.com/group/3sheets. Answer the questions. If you invite one of your friends and they don't know what the hell they're going to tell them, hey, answer these 3 questions so you can like my comments because no one else is. That is how you become Sheeter of the Week.
Yeah, I did. So speaking of that, I did want to give a big shout out to Shan Nichols and Josh Wozni. They're always recruiting people hardcore in other Disney groups, and I want you.
Do you mean Josh Wozni, my hair buddy?
Sure. I just want to give him a shout out because I told him I was going to give him a shout out. They're always recruiting, and we appreciate all the hard work you're doing.
Shan, Josh, and Stephen Goatee have literally upped membership by like 40%.
I think it was the last time I looked, it was like 300 something percent.
Yeah,
like our statistics.
Yes.
So
go over there, facebook.com/group/3sheets. That's where you'll find the Facebook group. Join there. If you're on the Facebook group, make sure you download and subscribe. Right, Mikey?
Yeah, download, subscribe, turn on automatic downloads. That way, when a new episode gets released, boom, there it is, right there in your feed. You can listen to it on the way to work. If you can listen to it on the way to your chiropractor. You can listen to it on the way to your therapist. I would recommend listening to it on the way back from your therapist, though, because it'll put you in a better mood.
This is true. This is true. But also, if you go on podcast, leave us a rate and review. We've had an amazing review just this last week. SC0716 says this has quickly become his must-listen-to podcast, Disney or otherwise. Honestly, man, your review was outstanding. It just wowed all of us.
It was phenomenal.
Yes, it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal review. If you're down with Triple D's Disney drunkery and debauchery, you must tap subscribe, as SC0716 says. Yeah. Mikey, what's going on at Magical Meltdown?
I got several shirts getting ready to come out here in the next week or so. Again, I've teased it last week. Pay attention in the group. You're probably going to see my male model sharing some photos from the park. Yeah, I got some new items hitting the storefront for drinkware, and I even got some stuff, in the loop, and none of it pertains to Trenton. So it's a good week.
So we're also starting a movement for all you listeners. So we have to get to Mikey. We all want a Get Fuzzy shirt, right? So if you want a Get Fuzzy shirt, you need to make a post on the Facebook page and tag Mikey and let him know how much you want a shirt that has a Get Fuzzy theme.
Speaking of Get Fuzzy.
Oh, I'll give him a shirt with something fuzzy on it if that's all you're looking for, man. It ain't going to be a peach.
Trenton, you shared some pictures of your first meetup with Tim and Adam way, way, way back in the day.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus.
It was October.
You look so much younger without your homeless beard.
That's
And that beard was professionally coiffed by the art of shaving at Disney Springs here not just a month ago.
That's all grown out into back to homeless Bob looking for a crack.
yeah. Well, I had to, after Tim said that it looked homeless, I had to show everyone in the nation again what Tim looks like as a Colombian drug lord Polynesian baby.
Listen, I wasn't embarrassed by my photo.
You had the fucking bed skirt around your neck.
I also had probably $500 worth of alcohol.
And
The
you know
look
what?
on-
After $500 to alcohol, no, you look pretty.
Hey, the
no
beer
matter
in
what
your
you're
glass
wearing.
was free, baby, and it was also 10.6%.
I will say, the look on Tim's face on that photo says, yeah, I'm fucking owning this.
I made
He
it.
was
There you
done.
go.
He was so done.
I was so done.
That's an amazing photo. Speaking of photos, like I said, go check those out. Facebook.com/group/3sheets. Rate, review, subscribe. Have I gotten everything? Oh, Twitter and Instagram at 3 Sheets Podcast. Go over there, check us out. Hashtag us. Yeah, so go over there, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 3 Sheets Podcast. If you're in the parks, tag us on your Instagram. Don't forget to use the hashtag 3 Sheets Nation. That's the number 3, 3 Sheets Nation. Disney 4, the number 4, adults.
Also, when you're drinking, hashtag Get Fuzzy.
Yes, hashtag Get Fuzzy. That's already fetched. That's made into a review. So
That's
a
fetch.
thing.
Stop making fetch a thing.
I'm gonna make fetch happen. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
Mikey.
Fetch happens. Okay. You're
Yeah.
so fetch, Scott.
I am fetch.
I almost just
I am-
made a bad joke, but
But like I said, if you really want to interact with us, head over to the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/3 sheets. That's where it's at. Answer the questions. That's where you can become part of 3 Sheets Nation. So, Tim, let's talk about your closing remarks tonight.
My closing remarks. One of the things I'm remiss because I forgot about this too, but something that does not get utilized as much as it should is the 3 Sheets hotline. Call this number. Let us, if you're drunk, call it. Give us a good time. Make us laugh.
yeah,
For once.
for once. Yeah, you bunch of dicks, make us happy. You selfish fuckers.
Tired of being your fucking monkey.
Yeah, I mean, we don't work for free. Come on, you got to give us a little something back. So that number is 407-906-4698.
If it's a Saturday night or Tuesday morning, whatever, man.
Can they text that number?
You can text it right from your mobile
text it.
phone. You can send us text messages. You can send us pictures of you and your friends at the bar, what you're drinking, anything like that. I mean, it comes right to the host.
If
It
you
might end up on a show.
You could call us from a Doctor Who phone booth.
if you text us,
UK based.
if you text us, we'll screenshot it and we'll share it on the group. If
If it's appropriate.
Sure.
If it's appropriate.
well, yes,
appropriate.
if it's appropriate.
It does have to be screened.
If you leave us a voicemail, we might play it on the air. So don't be afraid. Text us, shout us out, voicemail us. What's that number again?
407-906-4698.
All right, so that's the Three Sheets hotline. If you're wanting to, if you're really wanting to be a part of the show, send us a message, send us a text, send us a drunken email, send us a drunken photo, drunken voice dial. Hey, drink and dial, man.
If you're at a bar and you don't want to give out your real number to some douchebag who's hitting on you, give that shit out.
What's the email address?
That's 3 sheets of the mouse at gmail.com.
You know, our poor operator George down in Orlando is bored because nobody calls him. So
Yeah.
call that number.
Yeah, put George to work, man. Mikey, give me some closing remarks tonight.
You know what? I've never stopped for 1 minute in the UK Pavilion. I've always walked right through it to get wherever I'm going. I think mostly because whenever I start through World Showcase, I start in Mexico, as one does. And by the time you get to the UK, you're either drunk or heading, somewhere to... We normally eat like at Garden Grill, so we're heading to Garden Grill to eat. So the UK just is as a blur as we're trying to make our ADR. This episode, doing some research and seeing everything I've missed, I don't know that it makes me want to stop there because nothing I want to see is there anymore. But I will definitely slow down, take a greater appreciation for the architecture, check out the hedge maze, definitely look at the lock system, and I'll probably pop into the pub just so I can see what Not the Hat Lady is up to. Also, I'm really proud of us for getting through an entire episode about the UK Pavilion and nobody singing Wonderwall.
I did think about Champagne Supernova the whole time, so...
Was it in the sky? Awesome.
Well, look, I mean, I'd tell Trenton to don't look back in anger, but that's not possible.
I heard you say that.
Scott, if you didn't have the high ground, and I hate you.
Adam, I know we've got a lot of things going on.
All right. So Saturday, 9:30, Hershey Park. For those who are coming, I'll try to post something in the group just to figure out, get a definite head count and exactly spot where we're meeting. We have the Wine and Dine meetup starting November 1st. Again, some people might be canceling, so just if there's something that you wanted to go to that was a hard reservation, please let us know. Also, I did tease something in the group about a special meetup that might be happening. Can't talk too much about it yet because we haven't ironed out all the details, but I will tell you it will be happening Tuesday. It'll be happening around 4:30 p.m. It's Tuesday, November 6th. It'll be happening around 4:30 p.m. And it's in one of the Magic Kingdom resorts.
If you're on the Facebook group, you're going to want to listen to all the episodes, including the quickies. We'll drop a quickie on this in the near future where you can be a part of this this little gathering. It's a very, very exclusive gathering for a reason.
Totally not a cult.
Totally not a cult. No. We may or may not sacrifice virgins, but totally not a cult. But stay tuned. There will be a quickie as we get closer to really, as in the next couple weeks, we'll have a quickie on this.
Don't worry, we're not killing Scott. He just looks like a virgin. He's not actually one.
Like, if this was Monster Squad, we'd be asking him to start reciting the manuscript at the end.
Wolfman have nards?
Oh my God, someone has seen the movie, thank Christ. That's the greatest quote.
I've seen it way too many times.
As we've gone through all of our sheet-ups coming up, give me some closing remarks tonight.
I guess we'll be seeing you all in the parks real soon, so if you see us, just stop by, say hi.
Yeah.
We don't bite hard unless provoked.
Or you
or
like
paid.
that.
And
Or asked.
or asked nicely.
I don't butt, baby. Hard.
And there might be and there might be like some sort of monetary compensation involved.
That's how you get real fuzzy.
Yeah. So, Trenton, this is our place, man. Give me some closing remarks tonight.
This pavilion's one of my favorites. It's one that gets passed over pretty often.
Clearly.
Mikey,
by three of the other hosts.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's like Kansas. It's a flyover state.
This whole episode has really hurt me, like deep in my chest.
his little bird chest is very, very hurt.
I don't have a bird chest.
It's a squirrel.
You're right. Chickens have bigger titties than you do.
Oh shit.
My man My man pecs are appropriately
He
sized.
said
Thank you
pecs.
very
He
much.
thinks he has pecs.
I do have pecs. Look at this.
Oh my god.
There's not enough McAllen for this episode tonight.
Oh God. So anyway, UK Pavilion. It's one that gets passed over pretty often. It's one that's close to my heart. Like I've mentioned multiple times in the episode, or on certain episodes, that my family's from England, Scotland. I'm only second generation American on that side of my family. It's one that all that stuff really hits home with me. So I really like this pavilion. It's one of my favorite restaurants. The shops are great. I like soccer a lot. English Premier League soccer.
It's hockey for people without ice.
It's essentially the same. It's essentially the same rules.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. He's got a point. He's got a
It's
point.
hockey for people that can't take a punch because they will lay on the
It's
ground and flop
also
like a
hockey
puppy out of
for people
water.
that can't ice skate, because ice skating is harder than you think.
It's pussy rugby.
Yeah, for my boy Rick Reagan, he knows how hard it is to skate. Shout out to Rick Reagan. He's a great shooter as well. I talk to him a lot. Big hockey fan. So I did want to say, hey, if you guys want other people to join the nation, share it. Add people. Make sure you tell them to answer the questions. Give us a review. That's the one thing. You give us a review on iTunes, we're going to read it on the episode. We're going to make you feel good about it. You know,
What if they give us a 1-star review?
then
Then we'll tear him to shreds.
I will grab you by the collar of your shirt and beat the fucking shit out of you.
Not like Sidney Crosby. He doesn't fight.
No, we're talking Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back at the end of the movie when they go around and start beating people's ass.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, I'm gonna pull the back of your shirt over the front of your face, and then uppercut you until you pass out.
I like it.
So don't give us a 1-star review, you fuckers.
No, Trent's
Or
right.
we will take it as constructive criticism.
Or that,
and use it
yeah,
to
whatever
improve
Mikey
the
said too.
podcast
Yes,
later.
same thing.
Yes. No, if Trenton's right though. If you're listening to the show and you're on your iTunes device, everybody's like 90% of the world has an iPhone. Okay, you're listening to the show.
I'm Android.
Yeah, like I said, 90% of the world has iPhones. There's a share button. Share the show. Share it to your Facebook. Share it to your Twitter. Share it to your Instagram. Share it to your MySpace. Share the show. Let people know it's an awesome show. I think it's awesome. So share the show. That's the best way for other people like yourself to find the show. Trenton, like I said, take us away tonight.
Take us away. So
Yeah, take us away.
You know, I don't know Scott's finishing spiel, but you know, we like to be a part of your Disney life. You know, we love that you guys listen to us. It makes us feel great. It makes us feel wonderful that we know that you are here listening to us, and that's why we keep doing what we're doing. So keep listening, keep going on, keep 3 Sheets a part of your life. You know, make it a part of your time every day. Check the page, look at posts, like people's posts, comment on people's posts. Make us feel like you like us, because that's what we need. It's an ego boost. That's all it is.
Trenton is a millennial. He's very needy.
Make me feel like you
Yeah.
like me.
So, from all of us here at 3 Sheets to the Mouse, thank you for making our show part of your Disney life. Thank you for your time, this time, and until next time, so long for just a while.
And thank you.
I love how Scott says he's got pecs. Meanwhile, Sally Struthers is sending him 35 cents a day.
I'm not that skinny. I weigh 163 pounds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.